In our daily lives, we face several problems that can affect our inner peace. For instance, we may encounter difficult people in our workplace or have to deal with a stressful situation at home. These circumstances can lead to anxiety, frustration, and negative emotions that can affect our mental and physical health. Detaching from the people and circumstances aligns with certain Stoic ideas. Stoicism and ancient Greek philosophy advise people to create inner peace by accepting what they can't alter and focusing on what they can manage. By detaching from the things we can't control, we can gain more clarity and control over the things we can. This mindset can help us focus on finding solutions rather than dwelling on problems, which can lead to a more positive outlook on life. In this video, we will look at Stoicism's 11 core teachings and how each principle can be applied to the practical methods indicated for detaching from people and situations. So sit back, relax, and listen with full concentration, and be fully present as you listen. The words you are going to hear have the power to transform your inner self and equip you with the strength to detach from any challenging situation. Principle number 1. Take a temporary step away. Stoicism teaches us the value of preserving inner peace in the face of adversity. The first step in detaching from someone is to take a temporary step away. This is not an avoidance tactic, but a smart step to acquire perspective and keep our emotions from clouding our judgment. In his writings to Lucilius, the Stoic philosopher Seneca highlighted the need of retreat. He wrote that one should retire inside oneself in order to better understand themselves. As much as you can surround yourself with people who are likely to improve, you should welcome those who can help you improve. The procedure is mutual. Stoicism emphasizes that we have power over our reactions, and by stepping back, we create the room to choose our replies. Allow yourself the solitude you need to reflect on your emotions and thoughts. Use this time to objectively examine the problem without being influenced by emotions. Seneca's statements echo the Stoic notion that self-awareness is the first step toward emotional control. Assume you're in a crowded city where everything is loud and hectic. Stoicism recommends that while coping with difficult emotions or a perplexing issue involving someone, it may be helpful to take a little break. Number 2, concentrate on what you need. According to practical advice, the ultimate step in detaching from people and events is to intentionally focus on one's own needs. Stoicism, with its stress on self-sufficiency and inner toughness, was perfectly compatible with this notion. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher born into slavery, emphasized the significance of differentiating what is under our control from what is not. Stoicism advises us to focus on what we need, not materially, but emotionally and morally. Consider the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort, in which people deliberately expose themselves to difficult situations in order to gain resilience. Using this strategy, prioritize your basic demands for emotional stability and moral purity. The Stoic maxim, "Virtue is the only good," reminds us that true fulfillment stems from aligning our activities with moral excellence. Epictetus's Enchiridion effectively conveyed this Stoic idea. Happiness and freedom start with a firm comprehension of a single principle. Some things are in our control, while others are not. By focusing on what we can control, our ideas, actions, and reactions, we empower ourselves to navigate relationships and situations with Stoic wisdom. Consider life to be a buffet with a variety of options, some nice and some not so good. Stoicism recommends that while determining what to put on your plate, prioritize what you truly need, just like when you select your food. Stoicism is all about making intelligent decisions in life, much like choosing the greatest items from a buffet. Stoic philosophers think that what we need is not always the same as what we want. Thus, it's important to choose snacks that are good for you rather than those that taste nice at the time. For a moment, Stoicism tells us that by focusing on what we truly need, we can make our lives a lot more satisfying in the end. Stoic teachings provide profound insights and practical direction on the path to disconnecting from people and events. We align our actions with Stoic virtues by stepping back, temporarily considering the rationality of distancing, engaging in open communication, establishing boundaries for our feelings, contemplating consequences, taking breaks from external influences such as social media, and focusing on our basic needs. Stoicism, with its ageless wisdom, teaches us that genuine detachment is not about emotional apathy, but about developing inner peace and strength. As we traverse the complexities of human relationships and life's obstacles, the Stoic precepts provide a source of inspiration, leading us to a life of morality, intelligence, and emotional well-being. Seneca defined true happiness as enjoying the present moment without worrying about the future. Number 3, learn to forgive and let go. Holding on to anger or resentment ties you down to the person or situation you're trying to move away from. Nelson Mandela once remarked, "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies." Forgiving isn't about letting someone else off the hook, but about freeing yourself. For example, imagine you're upset because a friend let you down. By choosing to forgive them, you're not saying what they did was okay, but you're allowing yourself to move on without carrying the weight of that resentment. Number 4, take a break from social media. The ubiquity of social media in modern society has created new obstacles for preserving emotional well-being. Stoicism, with its ageless wisdom, offers insights for managing our interactions with modern platforms and the constant flow of information. Despite living in a society far different from ours, the Stoic philosophers faced external influences that threatened their inner tranquility. Seneca, in his essay on the shortness of existence, bemoaned the diversions that impeded a fulfilling existence. We don't have a short time to live, we just waste a lot of it. Apply this Stoic wisdom to the digital world. The constant flood of information and comparisons on social media might distract us from what is genuinely important. The Stoic practice of apatheia is especially applicable here. By momentarily withdrawing from social media, we create space for reflection, while lowering external stimuli that may contribute to mental distress. Seneca's advice to focus on what genuinely matters is echoed in this stage of detachment. Consider social media to be a large puzzle that can be overwhelming at times, similar to attempting to solve a puzzle with too many parts. Stoicism recommends that it's okay to take a break from this digital puzzle to relax your brain. In layman's words, it's like setting aside the jigsaw pieces for a time, so you may return with a fresh perspective. Stoicism reminds us that our brains, like our bodies, need rest. Social media can feel like an endless flood of puzzle pieces, updates, photos, and news. And occasionally it can be a little too much. The Stoic philosophers believe that taking a break from this digital puzzle can help us maintain our mental clarity and focus. Think of social media as a riddle. When things become overwhelming, it is perfectly acceptable to take a break. This could be going for a stroll, reading a book, or simply relaxing without devices for a bit. Stoicism believes that by giving your brain a break, you are preventing it from becoming overburdened with jigsaw parts. It's about taking control of your digital time, similar to determining whether to play with a puzzle and when to stop. Remember, it's not about abandoning social media for good. It's about ensuring that it doesn't become too much of a brain-bending problem. Number 5, help others. Offering help to others can provide a new purpose and satisfaction that surpasses personal concerns. As Muhammad Ali once said, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." Volunteering at a local shelter, for instance, can give you a fresh perspective on your own life and create a sense of belonging and contribution. Helping others takes the focus away from your own problems and adds value to your life, showing that detachment isn't just about stepping back from the negative, but also stepping towards positive, outward-looking actions. It's like finding a calm place in the heart of the city to catch your breath. Think of this break as a pause button. It's not about ignoring the situation indefinitely, but rather about giving yourself the opportunity to contemplate without the distraction of emotions surrounding the Stoic thinkers. The old wisdom guys often talked about reaching a calm area within ourselves. Seneca, a wise thinker, once said, "Retreat into yourself as much as you can. It's like taking a step back to obtain a better perspective." Simply put, it's similar to taking a timeout in a game. You don't leave the game permanently. You simply step aside for a time to clear your mind. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions are somewhat like the weather. They come and go. Stepping away allows you to give yourself time to calm down and figure out what to do next. Remember, this step isn't about fleeing. It's about pausing to find a calm place in the midst of life's chaos. Stoicism advocates taking a step back because it believes that when circumstances get bad, our emotions can function like a storm, clouding our judgment. By taking a short break, we can let the storm to pass and see things more clearly. Stoics believe that in this peaceful place, we can make decisions based on reason rather than emotion. Find a quiet place or time, such as going for a brief stroll, relaxing in the park, or simply sitting alone in your room. The idea is to make a small place for oneself where you may think without interruptions. Remember that it's not about leaving forever. It's about finding a moment of serenity to figure things out. Number 6. Assess whether distance is necessary. The second step in detaching from people is to carefully assess whether distance is a sensible and moral decision. Stoicism urges us to base our acts on reason and virtue, emphasizing the goal of eudaimonia, or flourishing through moral excellence. The Stoic concept of oikeiosis, which means appropriation or familiarization, implies that our inherent tendency is toward virtue and social peace. However, not all interactions promote moral growth. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught us to assess our associations and make good choices. We cannot control our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we react to them. Consider the nature of your relationship with the individual in question. Are they promoting your moral development and well-being? According to Stoicism, avoiding poisonous or damaging relationships is a show of wisdom and virtue, not weakness. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher born as a slave, illustrated this teaching by emphasizing inner freedom over exterior restraints. Imagine you're among pals and one of them starts doing things that make you feel bad. Stoicism says that just like picking good companions, you should consider if it is a good idea to continue hanging out with this individual. In everyday terms, it's like asking yourself, is being with this person helping me grow and be happy, or is it making things worse? The Stoic philosophers would refer to this as pondering about whether it is a prudent move. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of choosing activities that will improve our character. So the objective here is to consider whether the individual you are interacting with is making your life easier or more difficult. The Stoics believe that excellent companions are like sunshine for our souls, allowing us to become better versions of ourselves. Imagine your friend as a plant. If you water it, it grows and becomes healthy. If you don't, it may not do as well. Consider whether the people around you are like water to your plant or like a thunderstorm. If being around someone is as wonderful as being in the sunshine. If not, Stoicism suggests that it could be prudent to consider creating a bit of distance. In the 7th level of detachment, the Stoic perspective encourages us to communicate openly and honestly with someone on whom we rely. This is consistent with the Stoic concept of a philosophical companion with whom you can discuss your thoughts, anxieties, and troubles. In his letters, Seneca talked extensively about the value of friendship and its significance in our quest of virtue. He stated, "The greatest blessing that can be given upon a man, after clear judgment and a modest temper, is a pleasant companion whom he can consult like a mirror." Share your ideas and emotions with a trusted friend who exemplifies the Stoic qualities of knowledge and morality. This conversation is not only a cathartic release, but it also provides an opportunity to learn useful ideas and viewpoints. Stoicism believes that by opening ourselves to others, we build our social relationships and foster a feeling of community, both of which are necessary steps toward detachment. Stoicism recommends that while coping with difficult emotions or a complicated circumstance, it can be quite beneficial to speak with someone you trust. Consider this guy to be your intelligent gaming buddy. who can provide you with helpful advice. Stoicism emphasizes the idea that humans are not supposed to confront everything alone. Stoicism suggests that just as superheroes have sidekicks, we should have someone with whom we can discuss our thoughts and feelings. Stoic philosophers think that discussing our troubles with a buddy is like having a secret weapon against life's challenges. Consider someone you genuinely trust, such as a friend, family member, or even a teacher. It's like choosing a game partner. When things get complicated, tell them what's going on. It might be in person, over the phone, or via SMS, whatever seems good. Remember, you are not burdening them. You're sharing the workload. And like a good game partner, they may provide insights or perspectives you hadn't considered. Stoicism emphasizes that tackling hardships with a friend at your side can make the journey go much smoother. Number 8. Set boundaries for your sentiments. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes understanding and managing our emotions. Stoicism urges us to notice and appreciate our emotions while being reasonable. Stoicism's fourth stage of detachment instructs us to set limits on our emotions. This does not imply being apathetic or unfeeling, but rather taking control of the strength and length of our emotional responses. The Stoic idea of apatheia, which is frequently misinterpreted as complete emotional detachment, actually refers to a condition of tranquility attained by mastering one's emotional responses. Epictetus, a major Stoic philosopher, expressed this concept by claiming that we have the ability to stop the action of the passions, or at least fight our tendencies. Consider your emotions to be colored blocks that occasionally stack together to form a large tower. Stoicism argues that it's a good idea to establish some boundaries for how high your emotional tower can reach. In simpler terms, when you're coping with difficult situations, Stoicism argues it's okay to feel your emotions, but it's also wise to make sure they don't take over and make everything unsteady. Stoicism argues that our feelings are similar to those colorful blocks. They can be entertaining, but if we stack them too high, things may become unstable. Stoic thinkers discussed striking a balance, such as building a tower tall enough to be intriguing, but not so tall that it collapses. Imagine your emotions as colored bricks, happy, sad, angry, and so forth. It's like saying, hey, I'm fine with feeling these emotions, but I don't want them to control everything. So you might decide that when things get rough, you'll allow yourself to feel those emotions, while simultaneously setting a limit, like a tower that doesn't reach too high. Setting limitations shows you're in authority, similar to a builder deciding how tall to build a tower. It's about being comfortable with your emotions while also ensuring that they don't bring everything down. Stoicism teaches us that achieving this balance is analogous to building a strong castle that can resist the obstacles of the emotional game. Number 9. Consider the consequences of isolation. The fifth step in detaching is to think carefully about the potential repercussions of removing oneself from a specific person. Stoicism teaches us to consider the long-term consequences of our actions. While Stoicism emphasizes the importance of the current moment, it also encourages us to think about the long-term consequences of our actions. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic Roman emperor, addressed this in his Meditations. We don't have a short time to live. We just waste a lot of it. Consider the consequences of distancing oneself. Will it lead to personal progress and emotional well-being, or will it result in an avoidable loss? Stoicism instructs us to consider the potential benefits of travax and make decisions based on rationality and ethics. Assume you're strolling through a forest, and there are several pathways to take. Stoicism argues that when considering leaving someone, it's like deciding which path to take through the forest. Stoicism believes in thinking ahead, similar to how you would prepare your movements in a game. Choosing to separate oneself from someone is similar to choosing a trail in the forest. Consider where it might lead. The Stoic philosophers believe that looking ahead allows us to make better decisions. Number 10. Seek out new experiences. Engaging in new activities can introduce fresh perspectives and reduce the focus on past attachments. Richard Branson encourages this with his advice. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity but you are not sure you can do it, say yes, and learn how to do it later. So you've always wanted to learn how to paint. Joining a local art class not only distracts you from negative thoughts, but also provides a new community and a sense of achievement. Number 11. Practice gratitude for the present. Focus on being thankful for what you have right now. This approach helps shift attention from what we're trying to detach from to the positive aspects of our lives. Oprah Winfrey famously said, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." An example is when someone keeps a gratitude journal, noting down 3 things they are thankful for each day. This simple practice can significantly boost mood and shift focus from negative to positive aspects of life.